Welcome to Voice Rising with Kara Johnstad. Enjoy weekly conversations with leading luminaries, pioneering visionaries, singers, poets, musicians, and sound healers as we explore the profound role our voice plays on the path to self-realization and global enlightenment. The internationally acclaimed singer, composer, author, healer, recording artist, voice expert, creator of Voice Your Essence, and founder of the School of Voice, Kara Johnstad uses her extraordinary spiritual gifts to empower others. Everything in this world vibrates. Everything has a frequency. A pioneer in the field of voice work and transformational songwriting. Her breakthrough methods are helping thousands of people worldwide fine-tune their body-mind-spirit system and unlock the energetic frequencies of limitless creativity, health, and abundance. Share your voice, ask your questions, join in the conversation. Receive life-changing, positive transformation and rise together to create a sound world. And here's your host, Kara Johnstad.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to today's show. I have two beautiful guests with me in studio. For generation after generation, Toltec shamans have passed down their wisdom through teaching stories. The purpose of these stories is to implant a seed of knowledge in the mind of the listener, where it can ultimately sprout and blossom into a new and better way of life. Today, I am honored to have with me two spiritual teachers of the Toltec Wisdom traditions. Joining me is Don Miguel Ruiz and his son, Don Jose. And I think most of you know the Ruiz family, but for those of you that are new to their work, I'm going to give you a very short introduction. Don Miguel Ruiz is a renowned spiritual teacher, internationally best-selling author of the Toltec Wisdom series, including The Four Agreements, The Mastery of Love, The Voice of Knowledge, The Circle of Fire, and The Fifth Agreement. And the Toltec Wisdom books have sold over 12 million copies in the United States and have been published in 46 languages, which is pretty amazing. And like his father, Don Jose Ruiz, he combines also new insights with ancient wisdom. He dedicates his life to sharing the ancient Toltec wisdom by translating into practical everyday concepts. He has authored and co-authored many books, including The Fifth Agreement, The Medicine Bag, Shamanic Rituals and Ceremonies, The Wisdom of the Shamans, What the Ancient Teachers Can Teach Us About Love and Life, My Good Friend the Rattlesnake, Ripples of Wisdom, and the forthcoming book is Shamanic Power Animals. And I'm actually blown away to be speaking to you guys. So now let me welcome you properly to the Voice Rising show. Hello, Don Miguel, and hello, Don Jose.
It's a big pleasure to be with you. And gosh, I feel like I all around the world right now. In 4 different cities, we are sharing something that is very beautiful and very interesting.
Beautiful.
Yes, I'm also very happy to be here and sharing the heart with everybody who's listening, and invited with you, Kara, to this beautiful show, and to be with Father as well.
Beautiful. I feel like we're having a soul picnic. So much of your work is really about us understanding as we gather to explore the mystery. It seems like when I read your work, it is a reminder to remember that we are loving, beautiful, mysterious, caring creatures, right? So we are creators. And ancient Mexican spiritual practices, they were almost lost to the world. I think that has very much changed since you guys are on the playing field again. I think that you're bringing back so much of the wisdom from and powerful techniques that we can use to heal and to really connect with our hearts. What does it mean to be an artist in this world? Because I believe the Toltec means to be an artisan, to be an artist. So define that. What does that mean for us?
Well, the Toltec is a Nahuatl word who means artist. And in our point of view, every single human is an artist. We are creating all the time. And we are here really just to explore life, to discover and remember what we really are. This is something extremely important. And every artist creates a masterpiece of art, which is a story, the story of our life. And that story, we are the main character of that story, and we are the producer, the director, the main actor, and we share our artistry with everybody around us. Because when we understand that we are acting all the time, we also understand that everybody around us, they are acting all the time. And just like us, they create a masterpiece of art, which is the story of their life. And as I live in my story, and I'm the main character of my story, you live in your story, and you're the main character of your story. Then we can explore life in completely different and amazing ways. You know, just to be alive is the best thing that can happen to everything.
That is so true. Just to be alive is the best thing. And I always am joking with my voice clients sometimes, because I tell them they know they're an artist because they have arteries running. They have arteries.
That's beautiful.
running.
I love that. I've never heard that before. I love it.
So look at your arms. Look at the veins in your arms. Then you know you're an artist. Yes, we are walking miracles, and your books and your teachings, they always bring us back to this place of unconditional love and wonder. You talk often that we are born from this pure place of love and wonder, that when we're born, we already have these attitudes. Before we can even speak, before we can walk, we are already starting to play. We're starting to be playful and start to take on our roles. What happens, do you think, what happens that we forget that true essence, that true playfulness, that true serendipity, and we become often very serious in this human drama that we're living?
You know, this is the most beautiful thing that happened. You know, the truth is that we are love that incarnate in the physical body. Mm-hmm. And when we are in the physical body, we learn to drive this beautiful biological machine. And we learn little by little and discover all the mysteries that life presents to us all the time. You know, it's like I say all the time, the entire planet Earth is like the big university where life is bringing all those challenges and is teaching us. A big university that there's only one teacher and one apprentice. The teacher is life itself and is revealing little by little all the mysteries. And we accumulate all that experience and we enjoy. We keep exploring, discovering that we find out that one of the biggest fears that we humans have is the fear of the unknown. But we have that strong curiosity that we keep digging and learning and discovering and applying everything. You know, it's so beautiful to see life moving matter all the time. It's just beautiful. Jose?
Yes, like you told me, Father, we're natural lovers of life. And when we close our eyes, we know that we are artists because everything that we think about is like you say, sister, like the arteries coming through us, you know, the art coming through us, like the roots of the trees, the roots of the flowers coming out of Mother Nature. And the moment that we go against ourselves, you know, we betray ourselves. And that's the moment that, you know, we believe in life. So the beautiful thing is always going back to the heart. And when we go to the heart, we can see ourselves clearly, what's inside of us that we are giving to ourselves and to others. And if we like what we're giving, we continue. But if we don't like what we're giving, we create guilt, shame, and that becomes like a cancer for the artist, because it begins forgetting what it truly is. It begins feeling that it's like a tree that forgets that it can give fruit because it believes in life. And this is the most important thing that we're here to do. Remind ourselves that we are capable to create our art. And by doing that, we inspire others. That's why this tradition of the Totec has been passed by generations, because it's about living in gratitude, that life itself is the gift.
Share with us, with our listeners, the ancient story. There's an ancient story, the Toltec story, that exists in the imagination, the creation of the mystery and our planet called Earth. Is that what you were saying before, Don Miguel? This idea of a university that we've taken billions of years to create this, and here we are. This is our school. This is our mystery school. Or how does the story go?
Okay, we can see the entire creation. It's so beautiful. Like in a computer, everything that you see on the screen, all the sounds, everything, it comes from only 2 digits, 1 and 0. Well, the entire creation of the universe is exactly the same thing, but it's not really 1 and 0. It's life and death. And the beautiful dance between life and death, everything is created and is ongoing and is growing all the time. It's evolving. When you are from outside and you see life in action, you are so amazed how the art is shifting all the time, changing and never repeats. It's always ongoing, and just seeing life, moving matter, making changing all the shapes, all the forms. What is so beautiful? Then it's been for billions of years until we focus in the creation of humanity. The humanity is only one being, made by billions of humans together. Like your physical body is made by billions of cells, and every cell can live apart from the body. Well, humanity is exactly the same. We all humans, we are just one living being, and at the same time, we are an organ of the beautiful planet Earth. Only one organ. But the Earth has so many different organs, and all the organs work in perfect harmony to keep the metabolism of the planet Earth. But just focusing in the humans, we can use the metaphor like it's a big university where life is teaching us step by step, discovering one by one all those mysteries. Then after we learn to control our physical body, our nerve system keeps evolving until it's ready to learn a language. And there's hundreds and hundreds of different languages around the world. But we learn the language that our family practice. And we learn the rules of the family, and we adopt the mythology of the family. And that's how we create that masterpiece of art, which is the story of our life. It's the story of me, what we believe we are. And little by little, we are evolving until we find out what we really are. We can see that our physical body is made by life and death. Our physical body has been dead all the time because it's just matter. And matter cannot move without a force who moves matter. Well, that force is life. And in that beautiful dance, we can see how we turn from a newborn baby into a toddler, into a child, into a young adult. We grow old, until finally we leave our physical body, a whole lifetime. Then the destiny for all the humans is the same, but we focus into what we call the dream. And the dream is the story that we create. And the dream is completely different. 7 billion dreams at the same time. Then it's a big miracle that we can communicate and we create together so many wonderful things. You know, if we just use our imagination, we can see that evolution. If the evolution of one human is very similar as the evolution of the entire humanity. We create the best we can, and we share with the new humans. And we give them our experience and teach them that they can evolve in. Then if you can just imagine the evolution of humans, it's like all those different flowers that is shaped shapes, colors, and is all the time changing, and new ones replace them. And humanity is being replaced every big generation after big generations, just like your physical body replaces itself every 7 or 8 years. That all the cells that used to be part of that physical body are completely new, with the exception of the neurons, of course, and the red cells. But we keep changing and changing and changing, replace everything. And it's that beautiful force between life and death. It's just amazing to see the entire creation.
Yeah, it is. It's true. I'm sitting here on the cusp of spring in Europe, and you can feel that newness as the whole dark earth field turns bright green within 2 days, right? It's amazing. I have a question which came up. We seem as a culture, and now I'm talking about more the Western cultures. I'm an American based in Europe, often to be moving so fast that we might have forgotten our roots. And the question is how to dance between being present in the power of now and honoring our ancestral lineage. You very much are connected to the Toltec Wisdom tradition, and whenever I read your books, the beauty is to feel this river, this beautiful stream of knowledge that's been handed down, these rituals, these traditions, and I think you said it a few moments ago, that these stories also are creating us, and then we carry them and continue to create our own destiny or our own creations. How important is honoring the ancestral lines, the ancestral stories, the wisdom that we've been given, but we might not be conscious of because we've all taken on these different identities. Many of us are not conscious of where we came from because we've already moved 5 times around the world and back.
Jose?
Well, it's about respect. It's about respect and honesty. Because when you're truthful to yourself, you continue carrying the torch that your elders passed by. And many people don't find their self-power, and they hide behind the ancestors, and the roots don't grow anymore. One time my grandmother said, if I catch you doing what I'm doing, you're killing the Totec tradition. If I catch you doing what your father does, you're killing the Totec tradition. And I answered, how do I maintain the Totec tradition alive, grandmother? And she said, by honoring yourself, because all the ancestors live inside of you now. You have to take this message in the times that change, because everything changes. And you say, when we talk about the Totec tradition, we're not talking about the Totec about 2,500 years ago. We're talking about the Totec of today, the artists of today. Because it's easy to hide and take responsibility, but that light needs to grow and shine as everything changes. Because our ancestors didn't know where we live now, as they didn't know where their elders live now. They were only in the present. And when I talk to my elders, They say there is no time. Everything is permanent. It's just the human mind that's in a hurry, wants to become something. But can you stop and feel nature? It has a language. Can you listen to that language? And when you can listen to the language, you can listen to yourself because you're ready to create art. And, you know, the illusions of seeing the faces or the ancestors, because it shapeshifts. It changes traditions, but we can hide behind them and we can say what they said, what they lived. But to honor them really is that they live inside of us, all of us. Not only the Totec tradition, but our ancestors live inside of all of us. So imagine if they live inside of our heads and our minds and we live a dream of suffering, a dream of disrespect. They're feeling that disrespect, so to honor them is to make your life to the full potential and magic. And like my father taught me, he said, everything's so simple, my son. We humans like to make everything complicated because we don't want to live in truth.
Powerful. When we talk also about this dream, I love that your dad said, Don Miguel, you said, you know, we have billions of dreams happening at the same time. Billions. It's amazing that we can communicate so well together. And yet, is there a longing to create an intent? For example, if we think of the planet and how she's crying out for us to honor her more, to pay more attention. We have a lot of problems with the climate crisis. Is there a desire to create more rituals and more intention so that we can collectively dream together and bring our forces together as a collective?
You know, this is very simple. You know, the earth is always getting an equilibrium in one way or another. And when we break an equilibrium, nature will do the opposite and will find a new equilibrium. But it's always evolving, If we focus in the history of humanity, we will see also a big and wonderful evolution. You know, we see humanity go from 3,000-4,000 years ago, the way they used to believe, the way they share with each other. We go in the Middle Ages, we see a huge transformation, and we see how it's evolving until right now. Then let's imagine in that evolution that let's see that you wake up tomorrow 1,000 years ago, speaking English that you can understand everything, but knowing what you know right now and see how they live, what they believe at that time. Then immediately you will see that they live almost 100% in lies, and they believe all those lies. If you try to share with them what you know right now, they will think that you make a deal with the devil. They will trap you, take you to Inquisition, and they will burn you alive because your ideas are so dangerous for what they believe. And in the present moment, we believe what we believe and we feel is the normal way to be. But if someone comes from 1,000 years in the future, you see how we live right now, they will believe that we are barbarians, the same way that we believe that 1,000 years ago, everybody was a barbarian. And they will be right. They will they will say, wow, 10,000 years ago, 1,000 years ago, in the 21st century, everybody loves with condition. They create all those injustice, all that violence. They go against each other, and we try to destroy each other. The way they see the earth, they was with no respect. They will believe that we are barbarians, and they will be right, but we are going into the right direction. Only the last 2 centuries, humanity changed a lot. You know, the 20th century, it was amazing how science and technology evolved. And just 20 years in this century, It's so amazing, all the progress what we do. And we see something very interesting. When life brings challenge, let's say like a hurricane, earthquake, or whatever, they put together humanity and bring the best of us. But when we humans, we create challenges, we see how humanity is divided, and we bring the worst of us and bring all the hate, all the separation, and we try to destroy each other. We see that especially in the last year with the pandemic and all the political problems all around the world. That you see, the earth is shifting, is changing, and whatever we do against the earth will come back in a different way. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Then we cannot destroy the earth. We humans are not that powerful that we can destroy our planet. We will not. Mm-hmm. The planet can destroy us so easy if the planet wishes to do that. Like you see a little pandemic, and the whole humanity around the world is suffering. Yeah. And we are shifting away to think and away to treat nature already. Mm-hmm. Then everything gets an equilibrium, and this is so beautiful to see how life is moving matter, because life is moving us. We may think that humans are so powerful. No, we are the same like everything else. We're not better than a dog or a cat or a butterfly or a tree. No, we are the same. Then if we learn to respect ourselves and to love ourselves without conditions, to really find out that we are the love of our life and treat ourselves that way, for sure we will see how the way we treat everybody around us will change completely. And we are going in that direction. It's just time. I will not say tomorrow or next month or next year. No, it will take hundreds of years. But we're going in that direction. And we are going faster and faster. And I'm very optimistic. I really believe in humanity. I believe in you. I believe in me.
Beautiful, Don Miguel and Don Jose. We're going to take a very, very short break. And we're going to stay in our hearts with exactly that, believing in each other. And we'll be back in 1 or 2 moments with more on Toltec Wisdom from the Ruiz family.
The cutting edge of conscious radio. OMTimes Radio. IOM FM.
OMTimes magazine is one of the leading online content providers of positivity, wellness, and personal empowerment. A philanthropic organisation, their net proceeds are funneled to support worldwide charity initiatives via Humanity Healing International. Through their commitment to creating community and providing conscious content, they aspire to uplift humanity on a global scale. Connect at omtimes.com. OMTimes, creating a more conscious lifestyle.
With happy clients all over the world, Kara Johnstad knows that your voice is the missing link to more authenticity, abundance, creativity, and health. An internationally acclaimed voice expert, Kara's breakthrough methods have helped thousands of people successfully heal their voice wounds and extinguish the story of self-doubt and shyness forever. Join in group trainings, attend online sessions, schedule one-on-one time, and invite Kara to work with your organization and community. Get started today. Go to www.karajohnstad.com and receive a special guided meditation designed to fine-tune your inner voice and welcome you on the voice journey.
This is Kathy Beal, host of Celestial Compass, featuring astrology you can use. Celestial Compass points you to what's going on in the sky and what you can do with it down here on Earth. We also explore fun, effective, and cosmic tools for navigating this adventure we call life. Join me the first and third Monday of the month at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Celestial Compass. It's enlightening, entertaining, and empowering.
Coping 19, brought to you by CDC and the Ad Council.
If you're feeling increasingly lonely right now, you're not alone. It's totally normal. Even though we may not be able to get together in person, connecting virtually with friends and family still gives you a chance to interact with people and may help raise your spirits. Join a virtual book club, set up group text chats, or online video coffee breaks with coworkers.
Find more self-care and coping tips at coping-19.org.
Welcome back to Voice Rising. I'm your host, Kara Johnstad, and with me in studio are Don Miguel Ruiz and Don Jose Ruiz, and we're talking all about the new book. It's called The Actor from Don Miguel Ruiz, and we're also talking about Toltec Wisdom in general, although one can't say in general because it goes very deep. And Don Miguel, you have the new book out. It's called The Actor. We've been talking about being artists and being artists of our lives, being creators of our lives. How do you see it as, how do I want to lead into this? You know, we feel often that someone who acts is playing a role, and we don't want to accept that we are that actor. Exactly. So, and you also talk about acting and reacting, that often we are not even aware that what we're doing is we're reacting to situations through our belief systems or our conditionings, but we're not even fresh on stage. We're not even telling a new story, right? So what's the difference between reacting and acting, and why do we need to start being more present with our stories?
You know, this is I love your question. You know, every single human is an actor or actress. Mm-hmm. Just by nature. It's in our DNA. We are acting all the time, but we are not aware of that. And sometimes some of us become professional actors or actresses, but they know they're acting. They know that it's not really a performance. And by the experience of acting in the personal life, when they perform, they go much deeper in that. It is a big mastery when you become a professional actor or actress. But we are acting all the time. Mm-hmm. You know, when we learn the language, we really actors even before we was born. The stage was ready for us, that we will perform in that stage. Then when we was born, everybody had the attention on us. We don't need to do anything. Everybody is focused attention, and they just climb in everything we do. They love whatever we do. And by hooking our attention, they start introducing us in the way of life that they have, in what they believe. They teach us the language they speak. They teach us the religion they believe. They teach us the moral. They teach us the best they can. And once that we understand, everybody starts telling us what we are. And everybody has a completely different opinion. And we are so good that we get all those different opinions and we create an image of ourselves, which is what we believe we are. And for that moment, we are acting all the time trying to protect that image, trying to project the image the way we want to be perceived. And it's shifting. You know, we actors that have thousands of different faces that we will use according to the circumstance. When we are in the school, we behave a certain way. When we are at home, we behave in a completely different way. And according we are growing up, and we have more experience in life, that will changing and shifting. You know, like when you have a hobby, when you gather with friends, when you have a lover, you're acting in a completely different way. Mm-hmm. And It's so important for the actor or actress, the opinion of everybody around. They tell you what is cool, what is wrong, what is okay, what is not okay. They judge you all the time. And it's one of the biggest fear we have, the fear of the critics, what they will believe about us. And then we start acting for everybody around, and we don't even notice. And we leave ourselves at last. When we grow up in that way, we are losing our authenticity little by little. And we criticize ourselves because we don't act the way we should. We can say, oh, I was so coward. I should say that. And we remember the interactions that we have and even modify it when we are alone. And we judge ourselves because we didn't have the courage to do what we should do. But the moment comes, perhaps, when you discover that you have been acting all over your life, not as a professional, but the way you act, start performing the main character of your own story. No one can do your image the same way that you do. You're unique in that way. And you cannot be anybody else. You cannot be your role model. You always going to be you because it's the only thing that you really can be, yourself. Then we have many years practicing what we believe we are, that it becomes automatic. And we even manipulate our own acting in order to get what we need, what we want. When you discover that you're an actor, you also discover that everybody around you, they've been acting all of their life also, but they don't know. They are not aware of their acting. And that gives you a big advantage over everybody. And then you see that as an actor, you need more actors around you to perform together to get whatever you guys need. Mm-hmm. Then it becomes more and more interesting. And about the stage is changing all the time also. You know, like the same way that the way you see the world when you were 10 years old is completely different than the way you see the world when you were 14 or 15 or in your 20s or in your 30s. The stage keeps changing and changing, and it's changing slowly according to your living and acting in that stage. But sometimes the stage changes so fast that it's so difficult for us to adapt to the next stage. Mm-hmm. For example, last year, the pandemic came into the planet Earth, and all of a sudden the stage changed for everyone. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, we have to be away from people. We cannot get together. We see many people dying, and a lot of fear came into us, and we resist the change of the stage, and that mm-hmm. resistance creates more problems. Mm-hmm. When you know you're acting and you know the stage is shifting, you know that everything is much easier when you adapt to the changes. Then it takes a lot of advantage to recognize, to find out that you're an actor or an actress. And you see how you recover your authenticity when all the critics doesn't affect you anymore. When you don't put yourself at last and you don't sacrifice for other people's points of view. Mm-hmm. You become more authentic when you no longer have to perform the way you used to.
Well, it's very interesting.
Yes.
No, I was saying it is very interesting that the pandemic it is a harsh awakening for many. But for example, in Europe, many people are no longer going to the office. It means they're no longer putting on their suit and tie. It means they're doing the same work in a pair of jeans, or they're putting on different outfits and still managing to continue to do their role, right? And so I think there is a shift, a very big shift happening in the moment, where people are trying to sense what is authentic, what is not, what was my role. Do I really need to travel 1 hour in traffic to get to my office building, or can I stay at home close to my children? Or can we include the children, because in the middle of the meeting you hear the babies crying and the mom having a meltdown, and suddenly you're like, yes, the children are a part of our life, and it's normal that they're there. Yeah.
Then you see how the stage changed completely, and we adapt to that changes. And even we start taking advantage for that changes. And we see, like you say, why should I drive a whole hour to get to work there when I can do it at home?
Yeah.
Everything is changing, and many things will not be the same like before, but many others will be the same like before. Then the whole thing will change it and adapting. And this is the beautiful thing, that we become more and more authentic when we do what we really want to do.
Talk to us, either Don Miguel or Don Jose. Talk to us about the difference. You say passion is truth and drama is theater. Theater. I'm an actress, by the way. Passion is truth and drama is theater. So what's the difference between, creating a lot of drama, which can be actually very exhausting, I have to say, and living passionately inside our stories?
Passion is creating from the heart. It's when you really love to do something authentically. It doesn't matter if you get paid or not, because you just love to create, and that's your reward, to create. When we live in drama, we live in personal importance, we look for validation. And this is one thing that, that stops us from, living authentically, because we begin sacrificing. And when we begin sacrificing, we get irritated and we begin losing, inspiration. That's why the Totec always lives in passion, because it's creating from the heart. And when it's not creating from the heart, it can become unhappy. That's why many people are depressed. There is this master that said, people, they love life, but people once in a while get suicidal thoughts, they get depression because they're not living the life they want to live, because they're suppressing their drama. And like we were talking earlier about Mother Earth, humanity has such personal importance that they separate themselves from life, that the human body is part of Mother Earth. Doesn't matter if you're male or female, you have that passion that's about to grow. So another master said, if you have an idea and you don't take action with passion and create it, you're robbing the world from a fruit, because that fruit can inspire others. And this is the dream of humanity. And once we begin knowing that our body is part of Mother Earth, we begin living passionately, because that's what we do. We create. One day we're not going to be here. But if you notice, every human that had passion for loving what they do and believing in themselves, that woke up another person for growing this beautiful dream of life. And one of the things, as I was hearing earlier talk, one of my favorite things of the acting lessons is Doña Barbara gave me this teaching, the co-author of the actor book. Imagine if life gives you a script. And I go, what do you mean? Well, you just got a heartbreak. You lost your job or you lost your partner. Life gives you a script. What are you going to do with it? Live dramatically or have passion? Passion that you love this person, that you're going to let them free, or passion that you don't want to be someplace where you're not wanted. In that moment, you follow your heart. And when you follow your heart, you're following your passion. When you go against your passion, it becomes dramatic, because you begin wearing a mask that you're pretending to be what you're not to be. And this is when we begin, not creating from the heart anymore. So it's a gift to listen to the body and to be of service to the body, just like the little angel holds the Virgin of Guadalupe, because the little angel is a service to what? To life. And our body is life.
Yeah, our body is life. I think that is what every actor knows, every professional actor. They train and train and train their bodies to feel the movement, to be in that resonant voice. And we are all actors, like you've said, and yet many of us, we don't need to train the body in a fitness studio. What we need is to connect deeply to our body and to the roots that go into the earth, right? To connect with the body, and to realize. I mean, I'm always realizing this is. I think that's the amazement too. The breath that you're breathing now is also my breath. The water is moving all across the lands of the earth. I mean, our body is water, and it's coming from the oceans and the river. And the people have forgotten this sometimes, or they would not treat the earth like they treat it. This is another theater question. Normally, when a theater goes dark, as you know, in the evening when the theater goes dark, the actors go home, and they're able to, if they're good, it's not always easy to shake off that role that they've been playing. It's very hard for theaters or for actors to see whole theaters go dark for a long time, like Broadway, for example. It just feels almost like that is a sacred place of creation. But what happens when the world goes dark and we're all the actors playing on this stage and this darkness is there? How can we unhook from that drama that we're still taking home with us? We're taking home the darkness. We're putting the TVs on and watching the news of the killings and shootings. I mean, like you said, Don Miguel, at some point we're going to look back 1,000 years back and say, wow, they were barbarian, even though many of us are leading and trying to lead really honest, caring, loving lives. But still you see that we're struggling with division. How can we... Yeah, I guess this, how can we get out of being stuck in this polarity nature when the world goes dark? We are the actors. So what are the lines that we get to practice?
Well, first of all, awareness is extremely important to be aware. Mm-hmm. With awareness, we will see that the same drama that exists outside of us in society is the one we have in our own mind. Mm. You know, there is a war war inside of mind and a war outside of the mind. It's with entire humanity. And that war, I'm not talking about guns and killing and all that, which of course exists outside of us. But the real war is between the truth and lies. Mm-hmm. And lies, there are billions of lies. And they only exist because we believe all those lies. It's like the Greek gods used to say, we gods live until humans believe in us. The day that humans no longer believe in us, all the gods will stop to exist. They will not exist any longer. Well, that war, we have it in our own mind, truth and lies. Mm-hmm. That's why we call ourselves warriors, because we know we have a war in our head. Mm. And with awareness, we will challenge all those lies. We will doubt about the lies, and we'll find out that they were not true. Then once that you win the war inside your mind, you recover the respect. And then you can respect everything that is outside of you. You will understand. You no longer will judge them because you know it's the way humanity works. It's been like that for thousands of years. When we was born, society already exists the way it is. We didn't bring poverty. We didn't bring injustice. We didn't bring any of those. No. We are not responsible for what exists all before us. The only thing that we are responsible is for the creation of our personal story. and how we react to that. Once that we do that, we start sharing what we find with everybody around us. And it's not important if they believe what we say or not. We just share it because that's what we are. We are sharing our love in so many different ways. And by doing that, we don't have to judge what they're doing. We don't have to judge all the killings. It will happen in any place around the world. Will keep happening. And this is because the war that they have inside of them get out of control. And of course, there are rules outside that if you make something, you pay for that. That's why there are armies, there are police, there are religion, there are all of that to keep certain equilibrium between humanity.
So
but when we had the awareness, yes, go ahead.
No, I was saying, so if I'm listening in, it's very easy in some ways, because if we take care of our own heart and our own life, if we take care of our being, and you take care of your being, and Don Jose takes care of his being, then the world is actually in a good place. Because
it is in a good place.
We spend so much energy taking care of and worrying about everything else, worrying about the politics and worrying about the planet and worrying about everything. And that in many ways we could free up that energy and take care of our own communities or our own little corners. And if everybody did that, then the world would find its healing.
Exactly. And you just share what you're the best of. Like if you don't understand about fishing, you will not go to fish. You will do what you do your best in your life. Like in our case, we write books. And in that way, we share it with everyone, whoever wants to read it. And that's the way how we help to heal humanity the best if we can. But we will not go into politics or fighting and all that, because this is not in us. No. Somebody else will save the forest. Somebody else will save the whales. The ones who know how to do that. We do what we are the best of. And that's what we focus. And that's the best we can do. And we can enjoy our life in that way until the moment comes that we leave our physical body, and then humanity will keep living the way they live at the time. And it's not because of us.
Yeah, then you might be the stage of lights, right?
Yes.
you might be the lights that light up the stage. We have a few moments left. I know that you have the new book, The Actor. I believe it's just been released. And Don Jose, I think you also have a new book coming out. I'd love to also explore that book as soon as it's on the market. Share with our audience where they can connect with you. I'm not sure. Are you doing online teachings in the moment, or are you still able to? You do trainings and teachings and beautiful circles, and are they still happening?
Yes, we still connect by the gift of internet. But one thing that I really love to do every Monday, and it's open for everybody who wants to join in Instagram, I do something called Live Monday. So I share from my heart for anyone who wants to listen. And that's a beautiful thing about this time that we live in. Before we teach into a little room, but now we can teach using the power of the internet, going all around the world to anyone who can connect with us. We're connected. Like right now, we're in this big, giant table connecting to one another, from different places. But we work for the same boss. Always remember, we all work for the same boss. And by taking care of ourselves, protecting ourselves from ourselves, we overcome our own darkness. And that's what we all need to do in this life for the little ones, because the new generations are coming. So they learn not what we tell them, they learn what we live. So it's our responsibility to bring light to the next generations.
Beautiful.
And just go to my website, and you will find out everything that we do. And you are welcome to join us in whatever you want to join us.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Your family is an inspiration to so many people, and I think that everybody knows the deep, heartfelt presence that you have to share your gifts. And if anything, you've inspired all of us today to be the artists that we are. Not that we can be, but that we are. Each one of us carries a gift, and each one of us has talent. And you're right about that, Don Miguel. I probably won't be fishing, but I hope to be singing and singing and playing and acting. And I hope someday to hear Don Jose, because I know you're also a musician, Don Jose, right? So
yes, I love music. It's a universal language.
Yeah, it's a universal language. So I thank you both for being with me today here at Voice Rising.
It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Yes, an honor too.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Bye.